Hey guys, it's Matt Schmidt here. We're going to be talking about product optimization in this video. There's 4 key areas that we want to talk about here, and let's go through them right now. So we got page congruency. That's really important because we're driving traffic from Facebook, right? So page congruency is all about matching up your ad to your product. We'll cover a couple key points there to make sure that your page is congruent with your ad. Page presentation. How should you have your page laid out, right? What's the easiest way for people to find their way around your page? We'll actually show you a really good example of that on the later part of this video. And then product presentation. In the same regard, it's going to go a little bit into the page representation, right? So your page is going to show where those images are going to be. The product presentation is really going to be how those images are done, what you should be trying to do. You should be creating your own images with anything that's worthwhile for you. So anything that starts selling, you want to order that product. If you're drop shipping or if you're doing print on demand, order that product in and start taking some of your own photos. A lot of the times, guys, iPhone could take care of this for you. You can go a step above. We like to use a Rebel Canon, and then we get our own light box and things like that. It's gonna make all the difference in the world for you. I know it costs a little bit of money, but you're reinvesting money that you're profiting from maybe when you import your products from AliExpress using our app. You can then change out those pictures at a later point in time when that product is worthwhile for you. So we'll talk about some key points there that make sure that your customers are seeing what they need to see. And then proof, social proof specifically, sales, things like that, to make sure that your people know that you're not only a legitimate business, but others are buying this product as well, and they'll have a sense of community in that, and that helps boost conversions as well. So let's go over the shoulder. Actually, we're going to go to 2 sites that I like quite a bit, and I reference them all the time. Movement is the first one I want to go after. The reason I like Movement so much is because they started from ground zero like us. They were a drop shipping company, and they took the path to starting to make their own private labeled stuff. Now, say what you will about the $100 price point and the watch that you get. I'm not specifically sure. You always see people that beat on a company. The fact of the matter is that Movement has built up to several $1 million per year doing the similar path that you are doing right here. So it's a lot of a great story behind this brand, and they do a lot of things right. So looking at what they're doing is really, really important because they're driving the same sorts of traffic that we are. So what you're looking at right here is the gunmetal sandstone watch, right? So when we're talking about congruency, we need to be making sure that this is what people are seeing on your ad. Now, so that might sound like a no-brainer to you, but the finer points of that would be if you showed, say, a black shirt in your ad and a red shirt is what happens when they land. Or if you showed a certain view of your jewelry, and by the time they get to your page, there's a whole different view that might not look very similar, like a similar view to what you had there. I would go, and it's all about the angle too. So there's an angle right here that's a little bit different. So when I'm trying to have my people go from one point to the next point, I'm all about making sure that not only is the product the same, which is the simple part, but the angle of view of the product is the same as well. So if I had a real person wearing this watch, I would try to have it so the wrist, if this is going to be my main picture right here, I would have it so the wrist is they're looking at the watch in the same fashion. And that's what I see a lot of these guys too, because I am following them on Facebook. They always have somebody wearing the watch very similar to where you're seeing it right now. And that helps with just keeping people away from, hey, just that little impulse of just a little like, hey, I didn't see that before. When you're doing direct sales ads, you want to minimize as many of those as possible. Another couple of things, using the name of the gunmetal sandstone, using it because then people go looking for gunmetal sandstone and they come down. That's very important. And then maybe some keywords can be in your ad as well that are represented on your site here. So 15% off a site-wide would be, and plus free shipping, limited time it's our birthday. Those are the kinds of stuff you want to keep in the ad copy to keep congruent to when they get here. Especially stuff like that that's on the top, because that's going to help increase your click-throughs. So that's about congruency, guys. Just making sure that what's represented in the ad is represented on the page, and no little minor difference is it should be ignored when it comes to the color, comes to naming structure, and comes to any kind of promotional text that you would include on your ad as well. And something that's very, very important as well is making sure that if you ever have any kind of discount, to represent that discount on your product page. You can see it right here, right? So people are going to be coming to your site subconsciously or consciously. If you say sale in your ad, they're looking for the sale on the product page. So you need to have that represented here. I've seen a lot of people skip over that, and you have to set that up in the background where you have a compare to price. You want to make sure that that is represented here, and that's very, very important. So page presentation. You can see a lot of things here, guys. Mostly the product is front and center, right? They have it displayed quite large here. It's taking up a lot of screen on my desktop. I'm sure if we squeezed it down to mobile, let's see if it responds here. Yeah, you can see what it kind of would look like on mobile. You can see, boom, it's right there. The add to cart button, see how the add to cart button is still visible on mobile? Well, as we move it out here, it's going to be there as well. This is going to be something that's really built into your theme. So when you're looking for a theme, this is the kind of mobile responsiveness and button layout that you want. You want above the fold, so to speak, is what it's called. You want your button above the fold, and that makes sure that people don't have to I don't have to scroll anywhere in order to get this. So product on the left, imagery either to the left of it or below. If the image is not so big, you could probably get away with putting it below. We do that for a lot of our stuff. You're giving the options. This is the logical step thing. I see the product price, I see the product name, I see the product price. I can select my options, and then I can add to cart. That's the flow and the layout that you want to be achieving in your product page. And then below this is where people are going to start investigating, right? So below the fold, what you want to do is start having your information that assures them and convinces them to purchase, right? So the free shipping, free returns, 24-month warranty, 100% secure checkout, that's going to be all below the button or below the product as they have represented here. Now we're going to start going into social proof. So I skipped over product presentation. I'll come back to that here in a second, but I'm just going through the page layout here. You have the social proof. See it styled on Instagram. Here's people watching it. See how the face is forward in a lot of these. Even if it's a minor difference with the strap, right? The face is very much forward in their representation, and these are just Instagram photos. Here's some additional specs. Again, here's the product again that they saw. I like that. This is going to be different from whatever product you're doing. But basically below your product, below your add to cart button, you want to give as much information as you possibly can. You can have some description here. But what's very, very important is that the add to cart button is above the fold. So if you have all of the options that they have here, make sure that you put your text below so that your add to cart button is still visible. So let's go back down here. Here's further social proof. That's going to be the last thing that you want. You want it below that. Loox is a great app, Loox. That's what we use. And it is... it's great in terms of gathering up reviews in the back end. We actually get some sales off of it as well. But then the product, the review placement is very powerful as well. They always put it right over here. So you can see here, boom, there's tons of reviews. There's 1,720 reviews. And you can scroll through all of them right here very simply if you really, really need to. And then below that, we're going to be having our you may also like. This is another key factor that you want on your product page. Again, this is going to come down to the theme that you select. So these are things you should be writing down to make sure are customizable into, and when you're searching for the theme, find these things on your future theme here. So you may also like, very, very powerful too, because especially when you're building out niches, right? So if you had led somebody in that nurse niche and you had some kind of lead item here, they might come down here. They might not like the product that they saw initially, the one that's above, but they may like one of these, and so they can select those too. So that's very powerful. And then below this is just every site should have, every page on your site should have these kinds of information here, your footer, your header, everything like that. So these are all very important as well. So I just want to run through another example for print on demand. You can see it's very, very similar, right? This would probably be included in the ad that they would have, right? Some kind of person wearing this. Again, forward facing, showing people what it looks like. And then you got your options here. I don't like the fact that this site, and it just might be the desktop, but I know they do very well, but they have their buy button below the fold. I would still recommend putting that above for you, especially as a beginning. Now, I'm sure that they have split tested this, knowing the guys, but I'm talking about the rule, not the exceptions, right? But the reason I wanted to show you this, guys, is the overall layout of their product page, and the trust factors that they're adding in. And here is an app. We actually have an app, a countdown timer like this. These help your site as well. You can go search the Smart App Store, or for Smart Apps in your Shopify store, to get our countdown scarcity timer. That's a very powerful, and we'll leave a link below this video too. Very powerful. And again, here's the reviews. A shirt doesn't need as much information as obviously a watch. That's also something that you want to be conscious of too, right? Does your product need a little bit more explanation than, say, a t-shirt? More than likely, if you're selling some kind of drop ship gadget or anything like that, shirts are very self-explanatory, right? So they don't need to be sitting here and explaining the quality and things like that. They can just say, hey, it's cotton, and it's premium 4.3 ounce. Boom, there it is. Pick your style, and here's your size, and here's the buy button. So social proof comes after that. Tons of great ones. Look at all of those. Boom, here you go again. Here is your other different one you might like as well. And then just saw, these are the other ones that are available based off of what you've seen. So back to product presentation, right? Again, here is a product that's all about the lifestyle. They're selling you on not only the watch, but the lifestyle that the watch is a part of. So what you need to do is represent the watch, show its quality, show it from angles. So here, that's why you're getting the different sites. Here's showing a little bit of private labeling and trust, but also, hey, what's the back look like? Obviously, they're seeing the product in all of its glory. It's a beautiful product. That's what they're showing. You can notice that this picture is not just something that they took offline, right? Or they grabbed off of AliExpress. This is a watch that they work, or a product image that they worked very, very hard on. So it's very important for you guys to take a little pride in your pictures as well. And then lastly, the lifestyle, right? So if your product has some kind of lifestyle to it, and over time, customer pictures are really, really good for that. That's what we'll do, is have a couple of the product, right? And then one image of somebody wearing the product. Those are things that you'll gather in over time, or obviously you could take a picture of yourself wearing something like this as well. So these are the things, guys, to just kind of look at, and how can I take these concepts, understand my product, right? My product has some kind of use to it, as some kind of, does it need a little bit more explanation, and then take pictures that can help answer those questions for people. So the shirts, again, you don't need to over explain the shirts, right? And it's actually somewhat beneficial to minimize, for products like this, how many shirts or how many images that you're going to have. The reason for that is that more clicks on other things that don't necessarily get them to the purchase is worse, right? So the more clicks that they have available for them that doesn't actually add something to cart or do something like that, you want to think about minimizing that as much as possible, right? So that's why I'm guessing that they only have the 2 images. You don't need to show the back or somebody wearing it here. Shirts, everybody knows what a shirt is. Everybody knows how to represent a shirt. In the customer image, that's one thing. However, on the product page, let's just get them focused on closing the sale. Both of these sites work on closing the sale. Everything that they're doing here is about closing the sale, and that's what you want to be thinking about as well. So I hope that helps for you guys. This is all about being congruent and ease of use. Those are the 2 things that you want to, and overcoming objections, I should say that. So congruency with your ad, ease of use, and in closing the sale as minimal as possible. That's what everything and by closing the sale as minimal as possible is, I mean, it's just building that trust factor up as quickly, overcoming the objections that would get them not to buy, and making it easy as possible for them to buy. With here's men's, women's, premium shirt, color, and then small size, boom, buy now, added to the cart. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope that helps for you, and I will see you in the next one.